Hello, everyone. I am Jacob Gasser, a partner development manager for strategic automotive software vendors based out of San Francisco, and I'm honored to be your host today. I have assembled a wonderful team, as you can see, of subject matter experts and executives from the industry, from our connected mobility solution, as well as from our automotive competency partner, Excelfore. Today, we are basically going to dive deeper in connected mobility together, and we do that with the connected mobility solution team from AWS as well as Excelfore to show you a new way of develop and discover and also accelerate connected mobility for the industry. Looking ahead into this webinar and also following series, it's not just a one-off session. We actually are going to host a bunch of series of that kind of webinar with our customers and partners. They're all going to be broadcasted online as well as recorded. And we aim to ultimately innovate together for automotive and manufacturing solutions, showcasing use cases as today, connected mobility, as well as also smart manufacturing or supply chain management and other use cases that are connected to mobility, which is a very, very and ultimately, we cover that in our industrial business unit with 8 strategic workloads, connected mobility being one of them. Let's take a look at the agenda. Today, our goal is to show you how to accelerate ultimately developing as well as deploying connected mobility solutions with our connected mobility solutions solution, as well as our partner Excelfore. So we start by introducing CMS to you. What is CMS? How can it help you? How can you deploy it? What are capabilities? And ultimately also the ideal customer profile. After that, we are going to hand it over to our partner Excelfore to dive deeper into their capabilities, specifically into how to deploy a secure, scalable, over-the-air updates, as well as data collection from the vehicle. We then of exactly that, of how Excelfore integrates into connected mobility solutions. And we're also going to demonstrate an actual vehicle campaign over-the-air update with eSyncOTA from Excelfore. After that, we cap it off with questions and answers from your side, and then a small survey for you. We always want to learn from you, and we obviously hope that you also learn a lot today, and we want to improve every day with your feedback. Without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Narmeen, who is a technical project manager on the CMS team, to start with the introduction of CMS.
All right, thank you, Jacob. Can you guys hear me fine?
Yes, we can.
All right, perfect. All right, so just starting off with looking at, we lost screen share.
1 second. Are we back on?
Yes, there you go.
Wonderful.
All right, so starting off with looking at key challenges in the automotive industry, OEMs build a new connected vehicle platform every 2 to 3 years due to technology obsolescence. This is specifically because how tightly coupled, monolithic, and specific in purpose their infrastructure is for these platforms. These OEMs are also looking for integrated and properly architected platforms that are not only scalable and extensible, but also easy to leverage to deliver connected vehicle features while improving the speed of their software development. Right, next slide. To address these challenges, in October of 2023, we launched our connected mobility solution on AWS. CMS is a connected vehicle offering that connects a vehicle to AWS cloud, provisions the vehicle, and ingests and stores telemetry data for consumption. Connected vehicle accelerators included in CMS are predictive maintenance, alerts management, EV battery health visualization, vehicle simulator, and exposing data through APIs. These purpose-built accelerators can be leveraged by our customers to build their next-generation connected vehicle solution. These accelerators can be deployed and managed through a developer portal we refer to as Automotive Cloud Developer Portal, or ACDP. CMS is designed to accelerate development of innovative use cases, reduce time and cost to deliver and manage connected vehicle features. It is targeted to solve complex connected vehicle use cases for our automotive customers, including telemetry data and insights and analytics, fleet management, insurance and warranty claims, and improving developer productivity. I'll now hand it over to Mohan to further discuss our connected mobility solution on AWS.
Thanks, Naveen. Hello, everyone. My name is Mohan Nielapantula. I lead solutions and go-to-market strategy for connected mobility workload at AWS Automotive. So why CMS on AWS? We designed CMS with developers in mind. This was based on voice of customer feedback, as our customers wanted to accelerate their journey to deliver connected vehicle experiences by first starting with a base connected vehicle offering that can be upgraded seamlessly and then enable better quality and visibility with their connected vehicle platform development as well as delivery. And finally, the important metric they wanted to achieve all of this is in less cost. To accomplish these key objectives for our customers, to deliver customer experiences with the help of CMS, we focused on developer experience. Next slide, please. So target customers for CMS include automotive OEMs, tier 1 suppliers, our AWS partners, fleet management companies, and connected mobility technology providers. CMS and connected mobility, with the help of CMS, we are trying to target a very foundational aspect of connected mobility, because connected mobility in general is a very mature workload. The primary persona with CMS at these customers that we are targeting are developers. And CMS introduces a unified approach for designing and governing connected vehicle platforms. It accelerates the infrastructure and service development and deployment of connected vehicle assets that serve the developers' line of business customers, such as fleet operators. Next slide, please. I would now like to dive deep into the key components of CMS. The connected mobility solution on CMS has 3 key components that customers can leverage to help support their connected vehicle programs. First, CMS offers connected vehicle accelerators or modules that we have built with individual CloudFormation templates for a customer to select, configure, and deploy based on their use cases. These accelerators, for example, include vehicle provisioning module to onboard and register vehicles with AWS IoT Core, a connect and store module to connect a vehicle to AWS Cloud through Edge, ingesting telemetry data, converting it into a standard format, and storing it in AWS S3 for consumption, and a predictive maintenance module to predict upcoming vehicle component failure so that we can minimize the vehicle downtime. And there's an alerts module as well included that receives notifications invoked by data stored in CMS on AWS Data Lake using AWS SNS, a simple notification service. We also have an EV battery health dashboard to visualize EV battery insights using Grafana, and a vehicle simulator to simulate vehicle data for testing. Lastly, we have an API module for data exposure. Secondly, CMS focuses on developer experience and is based on Spotify's platform engineering tool called Backstage that we refer to as the Automotive Cloud Developer Portal. And in a short form, it's called ACDP. And ACDP is a single pane of glass for developers to gain visibility into the deployable code and infrastructure assets provided by their peers, AWS, and our partners. And finally, with CMS 2.0 that was launched at the end of October this year, we launched a partner catalog offering that gives customers a catalog of 22 curated connected mobility partner solutions that are already available on AWS Marketplace, creating a one-stop shop for our customers to solve all their connected vehicle, to solve the unique problems all within ACDP. So we have a mix of ISV and GSI partners that we are partnering with to scale CMS. These ISV partner solutions are already published on AWS Marketplace and can be directly deployed from CMS to address a wide variety of customer use cases. And GSI partners can white label CMS to take customers as a joint offering. What we will discuss next is how our partner Excelfore has integrated their full vehicle over-the-air update solution with CMS and showcase a demo of their integration. Our goal with CMS is to enable our customers to take advantage of the variety of AWS connected mobility partner solutions to address the different connected mobility use cases. Through this integration, AWS is taking care of the undifferentiated heavy lifting for our customers. So with that, let me turn it over to Prajeet Patel from Excelfore.
Thank you very much, Mohan, and super excited to be here and showcase how we've integrated our solution with the CMS. Yep. So before we go there, I want to use a few minutes about discussing about Excelfore. Excelfore is very much focused on software-defined connectivity and connectivity solutions. In fact, connectivity is probably the most essential component in the software-defined vehicle, according to me. By transforming vehicles from just standalone machines, we can, by connectivity, and ensure that they are getting intelligent and big integrated platforms. The connectivity does not only enhance safety and user experience, but also provides room for innovation, collaboration, and new business models for the whole ecosystem. So Excelfore is in the forefront of this SDV connected connectivity solutions. And our motto is to always plan and build products based on standards and have focus on partnerships. And that is what we are going to discuss today. So we have 3 different products in our portfolio today. Over-the-air updates, data aggregation. So these are from cloud to edge and edge to cloud. And another very important component, which is really taking off today, is in-vehicle networks. That means edge-to-edge connectivity. We will not be discussing the in-vehicle networks today, but they are very essential for, they power applications like autonomous driving and infotainment systems, and are very important in the whole concept of SDV. For the OTA, the data pipeline, we are using eSync Alliance standards specification, and we will go in a little bit depth on how that looks like. When it comes to TSN and AVB, we conform to AVNU standards. Now, partnerships is a very big part of our value proposition. So we have been working with AWS significantly. We are their competency, automotive competency partner, but also qualified software. And some of the other solutions which we have is, for instance, with Wind River, who has a very good CI/CD platform. Our software is there integrated with that. Next slide. So just to give a short brief on the footprint we have today. So when it comes to in-vehicle networks, we have around 10 million vehicles on the road. And for the OTA and data aggregation, around 4.5. But this is just a small set of everything which we have in production and are growing in that area. Additionally, we see expansion in non-automotive segments like off-road and industrial. So here we see a few of the markets we are in and some of the clients. As a team, we have been working together since 2000, but the current portfolio of products which we have actually started in 2016. So we have a very strong fundamental technology base to work from, and we are really looking forward to expand this in upcoming new areas. Let's move on. So just quickly, a few of the wins we have and what we see clients are asking in the market. So we have seen interest in the, of course, over-the-air updates to really enable the flexibility and scalability in this area for the SDV, data aggregation and features on demand. And some of the features we have here are mentioned in the program, in the chart here. So 1 minute. I think the current was not on, so now it's back. What we are seeing is the interest areas are, of course, the success factors are cost, scalability, and time to market. And the solution we provide is also agnostic of the device, underlying device, and can be used in multiple different programs. Let's go to the next slide. So these are, by the way, 4 of the companies we are working with. And please go back. Audi VinFast, which is from Vietnam, Hero Motors in India, and Tata Motors. So we are also going from vehicles to micromobility. Next slide. When it comes to off-road segment, there are more or less the same requirements, but the use cases are the use success attributions a bit different. Here, there's always a constraint on the data availability and reliability, and very tailored, customized updates are required. So these are fundamentally very important for these clients. And here we've been working with Caterpillar, Liebherr, and Vermeer in the US. Next slide. So in a nutshell, what we are providing is what we call a learning loop. So through our infrastructure of connectivity, we can access any point in the car where you already have maybe an over-the-air update connection. We can extract the data from there. You can then start seeing patterns of a sensor, how it's reacting in different areas, learn from that, and then potentially update with a new firmware to improve its lifetime or functionality. So this is what we call a learning loop, from the edge to the cloud and back from the cloud to the edge, which is very interesting. And in the cloud, there are also APIs, so you can connect with different kind of applications. You can use this data and have different AI models to improve the performance of the sensors and products in the car. Next slide. So this gives you a little bit of the infrastructure, the structure of eSync Alliance standard. eSync Alliance was founded in 2016. We were one of the co-founders, and it consists of OEMs, tier 1 suppliers.
I think we lost Prajit. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, it looks like Rajit had issues with current.
Okay.
He is currently in a hotel in India. I hope he will be back in a second.
Is anyone else in Excelfore want to take over for Prajeet?
Madhav or Guru Dutt? Okay.
Yeah, I was just going to take over. Sorry for that. So basically, what Prajeet was saying that is Excelfore has been a one of the founding members of eSync Alliance, and we have actually worked very closely with a variety of suppliers, tier ones, and OEMs, and system integrators and chip manufacturers, which are a part of the non-profit organization called eSync Alliance, who have provided various insights and inputs to define and develop a standardized OTA solution. And we have actually successfully documented about 650 pages of OTA standard called the eSync over-the-air technology solution from eSync Alliance. So Excelfore has successfully implemented that solution. It's an end-to-end software solution. As you can see in this slide, you have a server on the cloud, and you have the eSync client and agents in the vehicle. So the eSync server is cloud agnostic. It can work pretty much on any cloud, and we have tightly integrated with AWS with a variety of services from AWS. And that's the actually core essence of this particular webinar what you're participating in. And the eSync client is essentially one of the primary single point of contact for the vehicle to communicate with the cloud. And you can have one or more agents. In this diagram, you will see that there is an agent per device, but it's not necessary that you should have an agent per device. So the idea here is the server client agent model makes it very flexible, scalable in the cloud, in the vehicle, and it makes it cloud agnostic, payload agnostic, in-vehicle network agnostic, and even vehicle architecture agnostic. And you can actually reach out to any edge device, and you can update them. You can gather data from them as well. So this is end-to-end software. It doesn't have any dependence on the hardware. And once Excelfore has actually established this particular OTA data pipeline, it has extended this to gather data from the devices, because we're able to reach the devices to program them. So we have then decided to actually gather the data from the devices as well. So that actually is a part of the FleetWise and eDATEX service that you see on the right side of the extension of the eSyncOTA pipeline. And we can gather a variety of data, right from the program memory of the variable data as well, to the DTCs, logs, scan messages, scan dumps, raw data, you name it. You can access any kind of data from the edge devices and push that to the cloud, to a data lake, and submit it for visualization so that you can assess and analyze and achieve a predictive maintenance and so on and so forth. And a comprehensive dashboard called the Fleet View has also been designed and developed to facilitate OEMs and tier ones to enjoy the complete benefit of the OTA as well as the data. And you can see the critical DTCs, the alerts, the errors, and the open DTCs, and so on and so forth from a million of vehicles that are lying out in the field. And extension to the left that you see is the subscription manager, which is basically the feature on demand. Because we're able to reach the devices, we're able to control them, we're able to gather data from them. So why not provide a feature, enable, disable it? So that's the motivation for Excelfore to come up with this feature on demand solution or a product, which is out of the box. You can actually allow OEMs to define the feature and implement that integrate that with the payment gateway, and you can deliver and enable features as well. And most importantly, this is a policy OTA solution.
Thank you, Madhav.
Sorry. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madhav. Guru is going to proceed with the demo.
Okay. Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Guru Dutt, you're on mute.
Yeah. So, hello everyone. Today we will be demonstrating the ease of deploying and orchestrating the eSync server using the CMS infrastructure. This interface seamlessly brings both the infrastructure and the deployment process, making it easily achievable to be deployed in a minimal steps. So later on this session, we will be showcasing the deployment of an OTA campaign. Before diving deep into the demo, let me give you a broader perspective of how all this fits together. We will explore how the eSync infrastructure is managed with a set of stage for the seamless integration to ensure we all are aligned So let me walk through the use cases, architecture, and the key component. This will highlight how the CMS and the Excelfore eSync platform together to deliver this innovative solution. Let me walk through the overview of the eSync infrastructure that will be deployed on the AWS using the CMS platform. This setup is designed for scalable and leveraging three availability zones with various critical services provisioned through the CMS to support eSync server and its operations. The key services that are going to be brought up are AWS EKS, which is provisioned for the Kubernetes orchestration, AWS RDS for the database management, Amazon MQ for the message queuing systems. We use AWS Secret Manager integrated with the KMS to securely store the sensitive data. We use Fluently for the logging purpose. eSync application in this architecture is containerized and deployed on the EKS environment, which enables both horizontally and vertically scalable to accommodate the increased load over the time. The eSync server exposes various endpoints. Let me walk through the various endpoints that are being exposed. So the first endpoint is for the fleet of vehicle. Using this endpoint, it facilitates seamless over-the-air firmware updates to the entire fleet of vehicles. Each vehicle is equipped with eSync line and in-vehicle agents to ensure efficient flashing of the firmware across the fleet of vehicles. The second endpoint is the eSync REST API endpoint. So this API, this interface or the endpoint will allow for the continuous integration and the interaction between the various services. It supports both the applications that are being deployed within the CMS environment and those outside the CMS environment also. The third endpoint is for the eSync Campaign Manager. This is an intuitive dashboard designed for the authorized users, providing the real-time access to monitoring the campaign status and the detailed insights into its operation. With this robust and scalable setup, eSync ensures smooth operations and the seamless integration across the entire ecosystem. So let's next see what are the things that we are going to view as part of this demo. We start with setting up the CMS server. So this acts as the backbone for the entire system. This ensures all the foundational components are in place for getting up the rest of the services in it. Next, we will be logging into the CMS and accessing the Excelfore panel. This is the center hub where the infrastructure and the deployments are going to be managed for the services that we are going to bring up. Next, we'll be provisioning the Excelfore infrastructure where we will be bringing up various services that are needed for the eSync infrastructure to get itself running. The fourth step, we would be deploying a OTA campaign where it starts with setting up of the eSync server, setting up of the eSync client, and performing the OTA using eSync client SDK platform. So with these steps, you will be seeing how effortlessly the entire eSync system integrates and operates within the CMS platform. Let's begin the demo. Um, so So this begins with bringing up all the necessary connected mobility platform solution. So the platform solution built is being deployed using the CMS infrastructure and the built-in scripts that are available. In this process, we are going to bring up the various services that are part of the infrastructure of the CMS and make it available within very short interval of time. Within the minimal efforts, the CMS stack is provisioned and its associated services are going to get installed. Once the stack is being deployed, we can view all the services and the ACDP modules that are part of the CMS infrastructure are available. So this gives us a backbone or the platform on which we can deploy the eSync server and the partner managed um, panels on it. So next, once the service is up and running, the user should be able to log into the CMS portal using the credential that is going to be received. On the successful login, the user is going to navigate into the components page where it provides the list of all the panels that are going to be enabled as part of CMS installation. This includes the panel of which belongs to Excelfore and the partner panels, so which provides a complete setup for developers to start developing the system and its integrations around it. So once the user selects the Excelfore infrastructure panel, so the next navigates into a form where the user can fill the details that are minimally needed for the eSync infrastructure, and it goes into a review phase. On the successful review, we can see all the services that are needed for the eSync application to be available is going to be provisioned. So once the eSync service, the AWS services that are needed for the eSync is up and running, then using the Helm charts and the certificates that are going to be configured, the eSync server is going to be up and running in very minimal steps. On the successful eSync campaign manager installation, we can navigate to the eSync campaign manager UI, log in with the credentials that are being provided. So here we are going to demonstrate an example where there is a need for a firmware update for a breaking software, and how seamlessly we will be making sure this update is going to happen and the various steps involved in it. So let's start with the component upload. A component is basically a firmware where we are going to select the payload that needs to be deployed. So we will be uploading the component and it goes through the pre-validation checks. Upon the pre-validation checks which goes through, so we are going to make sure this component has been uploaded, and within few minutes, this component is going to be validated and stored into the eSync server. Upon the successful component creation, next we are going to start with creation of the package. So package is basically a collection of the components that packages and needs to be delivered onto the targeted vehicles. So we start with giving a name that is identifiable for the package and a short description for this particular package. And here we are going to select the component which we have uploaded in the previous steps to make this as the targeted vehicle for the package for the vehicle. On successful package creation, next we are going to create the campaign where we initiate by giving the name for the campaign, a description, a rollout start date, and end date. So with this information that we are going to provide, the initiation of the campaign is going to get started and we go into the campaign deployment phase. Campaign deployment is basically a five-step process, which includes first step, selection of the package, where we select the package that we have been created in the previous step. Next step is we are going to go through the filtering process where we select the subset of the vehicles or the fleet that we are going to target. So here we are going to use make, model, year, location as a subset filtering mechanism and select the set of vehicle group that we are trying to target. In the step 3, we have two options where you can select all the subset vehicles that have been targeted, or you can select an individual vehicle also. For this demo, I'll be selecting an individual vehicle for which my client is running. So let me select the individual vehicle which I have the client running. So upon the selection of the vehicle, next we go into a policy phase. So in this step, we will be defining all the policies and the rules that are necessary for the OTA operation. This can include custom or specific criteria for the update to proceed. With the validation of all these steps, we are in a review phase where we can validate all these things are up and running. So before deploying, let me make sure the client is running and make it is available. Let's move on to the client section. So here I'm making use of eSync client SDK package, which is available on the marketplace for the subscription. For this demonstration, I'll be deploying eSync client and SDK package on my machine, which mimics the client on the real world environments. So on the start of the client, so we will be validating all the required services for the eSync client is up and running. We'll be deploying the campaign for the specific vehicle and the client that has been targeted. So we can see as the campaign has been deployed, within a short interval of time, the rollout gets initiated process and it starts moving from unscheduled to the scheduled state. So with this operation, the vehicle is now in the scheduled state. Once the vehicle or the device communicates with the server, we can see the interaction is going to get initiated between the client and the server. So we can see all the set of activities that happens between the client and the server communication is getting initiated and are being tracked and saved into the system for the auditing purpose also. So with the client and server initiation started, we can see the package that we have been uploaded is getting downloaded. And once the successful download has been done, it starts installation phase. On successful installation, we can now confirm from the in progress state, it goes into the successful state. So this is like on the fly, like we can view how easily we started from getting this infrastructure of the CMS, infrastructure of the eSync, followed by getting the eSync client running as a SDK package. And then we did the OTA operation for a vehicle that we have targeted. So all these things are very easily doable and with a very seamless steps. So next, let me just go back.
All right, sorry, I had a small interruption there, a failure of power, so for some reasons. Anyway, we want to conclude our part here, like the key benefits we have been seeing with using AWS and CMS. So first of all, with CMS, we are able to have a very quick start and collaboration platform. So imagine you are at a event, you see a few applications, you may see our application, and you want to test it. So it's easy to do this, but because you can just go on the CMS platform and log in and get our services, but also our partners' services in one go. Secondly, continuous upgrades made simple. That means the upgrades we also come up with, they are easily available for everyone using the CMS, and they can go from development to production. End-to-end process, what we mean here is, and as Mohan was also referring to, so from the time you have an idea of what you want to do and decide to test a product like ours, you can go from purchase, deployment, development, and deployment in one go using the same system. I will let Guru discuss the last 2 points.
Sure. So optimize containerization development. So deployment. So we know everything runs on container. Many times we see even the in-vehicle stack also runs on the container on the cloud. So everything can be containerized and it can be fast deployment and the test life cycles, which improves faster delivery to the market. The flexible CI/CD process with the Graviton will make sure the development of these systems can be done and being validated on the cloud with the Graviton instance support and the complete CI/CD process for the in-vehicle builds with Meta AWS infrastructure. So overall, if we take this as a use case, so with the CMS and Excelfore and its partner panels that are available, On this platform, the developers can integrate the eSync on the CMS with a very minimal steps, which includes the infrastructure, setting up the server, making its provisioning or the REST API interface, taking the advantages of this interfaces, connecting to the other solutions on the panel, or it can be outside the CMS, and bring this complete ecosystem with very minimal amount of time. This helps the overall build, deploy, and up to the market with very minimal steps.
Thank you for a great demo and wrap up, Guru and Prajit. Much appreciated. And, that's the beauty of life. Losing electricity during a live webinar, it happens. So
Yeah.
we'll roll with it. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Let's approach.
Location, so.
Excellent. Thank you. Thanks for improvising. All right, we approach the Q&A session. I saw already a few questions in the chat that I will address right now. In the meantime, if you want to get started with CMS, please scan the QR code. This is where you can easily access and already try out CMS on AWS. And then if you want to have a further deep dive, our specialists, Narmeen and Mohan, are available anytime for you. Looking at the Q&A, I see a question from Sai, and that is towards Excelfore. What is the typical latency for end-to-end processes for regular data logging or detecting issues and trigger an alert in portal or SMS?
So I'll let this maybe Guru and Madhav, if you can take this call. You're on mute, Guru.
Okay, so with respect to the notification, so already the CMS has the built-in module for the notification service. So this can be expanded with the REST API interfaces that are available from the eSync to easily integrate and perform the alerting set of operations. Since the Grafana dashboards are also being managed, so there are two options where you can directly make use of the API interface with the serverless to send the notifications, or it can be through the Grafana notifications that are available through the CMS platform.
Another one from Sai. Guru, when selecting vehicles, do you have policies specific to FW version compatibility metrics?
So we support custom policies in place where the deployer can provide the set of rules and the engines based on the policy. It can perform the OTA operation for the desired set of software version also. So that is possible with the custom policies in place.
Thank you, Guru. And then we have another one from Anil. Who owns the data? I have to assume that's a good question. Is it Excelfore or CMS or both together? Either way, I mean, if we look at the end use case, at the end customer with Excelfore, who owns the data when we provide eSync over-the-air updates?
Yeah, so we normally don't own the data. We just facilitate and work with the data. So the preferred model from our perspective is that we host the OEM's our servers, and then the data is passed from our servers to the client's server. So that is one model. Sometimes OEMs also want to have our whole OTA system within their firewalls, and that's also possible. So both of these options are there, but the ownership of the data is the client's.
And I can speak for CMS. The CMS also does not hold any data for the customer. It's a completely self-managed account, and solution is deployed inside your account.
Excellent. Thank you, Saif and Prajit. I do not see any other questions in the chat anymore, and we're actually at time. Guru, if you can proceed to the last slide. Thank you again, everyone, for joining. Thank you to the presenters who put all that effort in to provide this comprehensive overview of connected mobility solutions with the integration of Excelfore and ultimately also creating that wonderful demo, Guru. Much appreciated.